In this video, I'm going to show you why now is an extremely risky time to be starting an Amazon FBA business and choosing your first private label product. I've got 4 different products I want to show you in this video. They all have the same issue, but for very subtly different reasons. So the first product I want to show you is these electric hand warmers. I've actually just bought a set of these. I use them when I'm walking the dog, and they're actually quite effective. I wouldn't recommend them as an FBA product to sell yourself, but as an actual product, they work surprisingly well. And if we bring up your favorite sales estimator tool, I'm using X-Ray from Helium 10. And if we look at the search volume history, those of you that have been watching me for a while can probably already spot where I'm going with this. Let's bring this up and make it a bit bigger. And what we can see, let me hide the webcam, is that every winter, starting from, well, say autumn included, so from the end of September, the search volume picks up all the way through until March. So what we're seeing is seasonal demand for this product. So as the warmer months end and the cooler months start, demand picks up. And then as things start to warm up again, as we head into the spring, demand drops off. So if you're doing your analysis at the moment as this demand is starting to pick up, there is a very good chance that unless you look at this search volume history, and even with you looking at this, you're still making a best guess, you're going to get an incorrect idea of how well these products actually sell. So if you imagine ordering now, when you think these products are doing huge numbers, and then your inventory arrives maybe in the spring or early summer, and all of a sudden demand has absolutely dropped off a cliff, and you've got thousands of these units stuck at the Amazon fulfillment center until next winter. So the first thing to be aware of is that products are seasonal, and they can be seasonal for different reasons and for different amounts of time. So these hand warmers, they start picking up end of September and they go all the way through until kind of the end of March. So about 6 months, but even during that time, demand still spikes massively. So it's not consistent, it's very hard to predict, and it's very hard to manage inventory when it's like that. We also have other products which are less obviously seasonal. So these table runners, for example, again, if we bring this up in X-Ray and take a look at the search volume history, maybe you wouldn't initially think these would be seasonal, but it's not just about the weather, it's also about events. So if we make this bigger, what do we see? This is the 1 year view at the moment, but if we go all time, we see a spike every single November into December and then a sharp drop off. So basically everyone is buying, not everyone, but a lot more people than usual are buying a table runner for Christmas. They want a dinner table to look the best it can possibly be over the Christmas period. So this causes a very short, sharp pickup in demand. And again, if you are doing your analysis during this period, you could easily get caught out. But also, this is the type of product that still sells okay throughout the year. So if you are doing your analysis in the summer months, that's okay. Just be aware that you are expecting a big spike in November and December, and to plan your stock accordingly. On to the next one. This is another product. This is jewelry boxes. I used to actually sell this product, but then the price point in the niche kept getting driven down and down and down and down. This isn't a product that I would immediately think as giftable, but it is. And if we look at the Q4 demand, let's bring up the sale or the search volume history again and take a look. I'll make that a bit bigger for you guys. And I'm just going to hide the webcam because there's an interesting trend here as well. This is another product that picks up from pretty much the start of October. So October, November, December, still sells okay in January, and then a sharp drop off with a spike in, I think it's around Valentine's Day. Yeah, there's a little pickup in February there, but we're seeing the actual spikes overall are declining. So this niche is kind of subtly in decline. The actual base levels aren't too bad. So we had the hand warmers, which were seasonal for 6 months. We had the table runners, which were seasonal for kind of 1 to 2 months. And then these jewelry boxes, which are seasonal for about 3 months from October, November, December. So it's really interesting seeing that products can be seasonal for different reasons. And that's why it's so easy to get caught out. And that's why at the moment, for new sellers, this is one of the riskiest periods, because a lot of new sellers don't necessarily think about seasonality. I talk about it a lot, but not everyone watches my videos. And then the fourth product I want to show you, which is the car boot protector. This is the first product I ever sold on Amazon. And if we take a look at the search volume history for this, it doesn't look as stable as it actually is. This is the 1 year view here. But overall, this isn't a hugely seasonal product. Now, if we go over all time view, it does swing back and forth. So you spike a bit in the summer months, which is quite surprising. I guess more people are going on holiday and they're protecting the car, but I thought it might spike a bit more in the cooler months. But overall, demand we flip-flop, but the average is around 2,000 search volume per month. So this is the sort of demand you would see on not a perfect product, but a pretty good product where demand is fairly consistent throughout the year. So just keep in mind at all times at the moment, if you are starting an Amazon FBA business, or even if you already sell on Amazon and you're looking for your next product, always keep that seasonality in mind and where you are in the season and where you will be when the inventory arrives in the UK. Now, if you're looking to get started with your Amazon FBA business right now, but you haven't found your first product, I've got a full tutorial that will show you how to find a product and how to analyze it and make sure that it's a good product. I'm going to pop up a link to that video now, and I'll see you guys over there.